Hey everybody, it's me and I am back. Many of you went through an ordeal that I had a few days ago. So it actually would have been New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2019. And it had to do with me attempting to check into a room that I booked at the Westin Pasadena. Now, had reservations for this, had the confirmation. I even did everything I was supposed to do. And those who didn't see the video, to abbreviate that particular scenario, they would not let me check in. So I am making this particular video, one, to clarify that I am not attacking all of Marriott hotels. This specifically has to do with the Westin in Pasadena. I've stayed at Westins in different parts of the country, different parts of the world, and I have been treated excellently. When I tell you I get good service, the people are so friendly, they're accommodating, they really treat you like you are a guest, or as the Marriott Bonvoy commercial says, treating people how they want to be treated. So I do want to clarify that because I don't want it to be an all-out attack or negativity against these other Westin properties, which those who don't know, Westin as well as the other few entities have been acquired by Marriott. So they all fall under this Marriott Bonvoy umbrella, okay? So with that being said, here's the complete story, and I'm doing it for posterity as well as I need this to be where other people can see this and be able to speak up for their rights and know that being treated like that is not okay in any circumstances. So here's the scenario. I booked this room for the Rose Parade. In my previous video, I said Rose Bowl, but it was the Rose Parade. And because I live in Long Beach, which is very close to 50 miles away from Pasadena, I thought it would be more accommodating to myself and more convenient to actually stay out there. So I bought my tickets to the Rose Parade as soon as they went on sale, like that day or the day after they went on sale. And shortly thereafter, so we're still talking around the springtime, late winter, early spring, I went ahead and booked my room at the Westin Pasadena. Booked, we're all set, no problem. Here comes December 30th, because those who know, hotels will send you a confirmation email, or if you have the app, they'll have a notification pop up, hey, you still gonna come? I respond right away, I'm coming. I get a confirmation, great, we have you. I'm thinking nothing about it. We're all set. Business as usual because I travel and I go a lot of different places. So I get there to that particular location and I had to make notes for the timeline for the sake of those who wonder how long this really took to play out. So check-in is at 3 o'clock. I got there a little bit after, let's say closer to 3:30. All right. Get there, doing all my normal stuff. Here's my credit card. Here's my ID. The attendant at the desk, very nice gentleman. Hi, Miss Willis. Thank you for returning. We see you're an elite member. Let's get you all squared away. Wonderful. Normal chatter that you would have with a front desk agent. As I'm standing there and the guy says, let's get you squared away. Okay. Then he pauses and walks away. I says, wow, okay. Well, maybe he had to go get something out the back room. I don't know. He had offered me water a couple times. Maybe that was it. I'm not sure. Point is, I'm standing there. Well, at one point, there was another gentleman standing also behind the front desk, who I later learned was the front desk manager. He was standing there. He's gone. So I'm still there, not knowing what happened. A few moments go by. Another front desk agent says, hi, is someone helping you? I says, well, the guy was, and he said he was going to get me squared away, and he walked away. I'm not sure what happened. She says, okay, well, let me go back and check. So she goes to the back office. Now, at this point, there's no one left at the front desk. There's a lady standing behind me, and she's like, is anybody here? I says, I don't know. I've been standing here. I was about to check into my room. A few moments go by. Here comes the same agent who tried to check me in, and I says, well, what's going on? He says, well, I'm going to let the manager handle it now. So now I'm totally puzzled. I can't figure out what really just happened, right? Because a moment ago, we're going to get me squared away. So the manager, hi, Miss Willis, how are you today? Those who know me, I don't do all the chit chat. If I know there's a problem about to happen, let's cut to the chase. So when he asked, how are you? I said, you know what? I can answer you when we see what's about to happen. What's going on? I was checking into my room. The gentleman was getting me squared away, and all of a sudden, I don't know what's happening. So he says, well, basically, we don't have a room for you. And so I'm sitting here, mouth hanging open, like, excuse me, what do you mean you don't have a room? I've confirmed that I'm coming. He says, well, we overbooked and we don't have a room. I said, you have nothing, no upgrade, no alternative, no downgrade. You have nothing at all. He says, no, we don't have anything at all. So we're going to have to send you to another property. So I'm thinking, okay, well, again, this is Marriott. And again, they own numerous other chains that they have brought under their umbrella. So I'm like, okay, he's going to offer me something right here in Pasadena, in a close proximity. He says, well, the nearest thing we have, we're going to send you to Marriott LAX. And the look on my face was like, are you serious? That's almost 50 miles away. Why would you send me that far away? He says, well, because we don't have anything for you tonight. So we need to be able to send you over to the LAX Marriott. I said, sir, I live in Long Beach, straight down the 605 freeway. I could go back home if that's the case, rather than going all the way to LAX. And those who know the area, that's not an easy navigation. That's not like going up freeway. We're talking at least 3 freeways are involved with getting back to Pasadena from the LAX Marriott. So I says, well, that's not acceptable. And he says, well, what we're going to do is we're going to pay for you to stay at the LAX Marriott, but then you have to come back here for your second night. Because I was booked for 2 nights. Never been to the Rose Parade before. Wasn't sure if I would be sleepy from waking up early in the morning. So I added another night, so I can kind of relax and come back to my room. So I had 2 nights that I was supposed to be there. So he's telling me, what we'll do is we'll cover you at the LAX Marriott for tonight, but we won't cover 2 nights. Because you have a room for tomorrow night. So you come back out here for that. Well, at this point, I go ahead and call Marriott, the customer service. And at this point, we're at 3:46. So about 16 minutes have passed since all this has started. Get on the phone with them. It gets escalated to a different department with them. And I'm still flabbergasted on how do you give someone's room away, and then you're offering them a location so far away, which makes no sense. Because again, those who know the area, you could have offered Glendale, you could have offered Altadena, you could downtown Los Angeles. There was all kind of properties in between Pasadena and the Los Angeles airport. So the lady on the phone, she's trying to understand what's happening because she says, well, our policy is we'll walk you to the next hotel. Okay, ma'am, he's offered me LAX Marriott. She says, well, that is us walking. I said, that's not walking. That's a good distance. So as I began to tell this agent what's happening, now she's like, that doesn't make sense at all. Let me call that manager myself. Puts me on hold. I'm going to deal with the front desk myself. No problem. I'm on hold. On hold for 16 minutes. The call drops. So I'm like, wow, I don't know what happened. So I'm going to call back. So now we're at 4:09 p.m. We're moving 30 minutes into this. I call back. And each time I talk to someone, it's the same thing. Well, it can happen. Your room can be booked. And I said, I want to be clear. This is my challenge. I've been here trying to check in since 3:30. And in this 30 minutes, I have watched every single guest get a room key. Everyone. I've watched families of 4, families of 3. I've watched one person. I've watched a guy and his mother. I've seen a bus come in, a tour bus come in. I've seen it all. And everyone gets a room key. I'm hearing the same conversation. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Welcome. Okay, let's get you squared away. Here's your room key. Here's a little certificate for this, this, and this. And my mouth is hanging open. Because I'm like, if you don't have a room, how are they checking in? I'm so confused. Because as far as I'm concerned, you don't have a room. Doesn't that mean that everyone after me would be given the same answer? We don't have a room. So I'm standing there trying to get a clearer understanding. And when I tell you no one could answer that question, I mean no one could answer that question. Not at all. So right about now, I'm on hold. with the next Marriott agent. And she's saying, well, Miss Willis, our policy is cash or points in a situation like this. So they either have to pay for you to get to the next convenient location or give you points, but something, not try to send you all the way, 40, 50 miles away. I said, ma'am, that's what I don't understand. I really don't. Not only are they not offering to put me somewhere near, they're not offering to find me another location. Now, mind you, there was a family that came in. I can't say if they had a reservation or not, because they would tell new potential guests, people who were trying to get a room on the spot, they would tell them we're booked up. No harm, no foul. That's a good, solid answer. But I have a reservation, so my answer wouldn't be their answer, correct? One of those families, I heard the agent say, we're booked up. However, there's a Motel 6 a few blocks away. He proceeds to give them the address and the directions. Now, did I not tell you I had been there for over 30 minutes? Not one person offered either. They didn't offer the Motel 6 down the street. They didn't offer another local. So at this point, I'm thinking, I need to handle this myself. So I go on Expedia and I just do a quick search for the area and one hotel pops up. Let me grab this room, because based on what's happening, I'm going to be out on the street camping when I didn't plan to camp out for this Rose Parade. So I grabbed the room. It happens to have been Howard Johnson's, about a mile or so away. Pay for the room. I don't want to run into this again. So I pay for the room. It's done. It's in my Expedia account, and I'm just holding firm to let's see what these people come back with. So at this point, I've been on hold for 23 minutes with the second agent. And I want to make note that the front desk manager never came back out. He never did. And I'm waiting for resolution. I'm the person trying to say, hey, what's going on? You gave away my room. And everyone keeps checking in. So how is it that you have, you have no rooms? Well, at this point, I've made the Facebook Live video. People have seen it. They're starting to get concerned. I'm getting text messages. Tracy, what's going on? What's happening? Well, of those people, one happened to be my pastor. He texts me, Tracy, please send me the phone number to that hotel. I do. I send him the phone number while I'm still there. Mind you, I'm on hold, still on hold. And a little while later, the call drops. I said, oh, wow, I can't believe this. This is amazing that this call is dropping. So I'm going to call them again. So my pastor calls at 4:29 p.m. Now, at this point, we're 1 hour into this entire ordeal. 1 hour of people consistently checking in. I have not seen one person turned away since they told me they didn't have a room. One gentleman even came up, had 2 rooms, and they asked that gentleman, which rooms would you prefer? I said, wait, excuse me. If you don't have rooms, how does he get a choice of rooms? How does that work? So they just kind of brushed off. They don't want to answer me. And I'm being careful not to engage the guests because they have nothing to do with this. My battle is with this manager and this particular hotel. And I'm trying to go through the hotel parent, Marriott, to have this resolved. Okay, so that was one of the scenarios that happened. A person gets a choice of their room when they don't have rooms. So anyway, my pastor calls 4:29 p.m. I called corporate again because the call dropped after being on hold for 23 minutes. This time I get a young lady and I says, hey, can you make sure you have my number? Because I can't take this again. The calls are dropping. No one's answering me. I'm literally standing here trying to get an answer. So she says, Miss Willis, I'll stay on the phone with you. She writes down my cell phone number. I have to bring her up to speed. Person number 3. Bring them up to speed. This is what's happening. She says, you know what? I have worked here for a while. I've never heard of this scenario at all. I says, ma'am, I've traveled. I've been traveling my entire life. Literally, my entire life. I've never heard of this. I've heard of they can be booked up, but they honor the fact that you had a reservation because your reservation should have been counted in that number. And especially if you confirm that you're coming. Had they not heard from me, okay, I might not come, give my room away. But you heard from me less than 24 hours ago. So you knew I was coming. So she says, I'm dedicated to be on this call with you to walk you through this entire scenario. Okay, so after we talk, again, the general manager never came back out. And I want to be clear, I have people's names, But for the sake of making this a factual video and not trying to get into any form of slander, I won't say names. But if this video makes it to the place where it becomes a big deal, then I will do a one-on-one with whoever I'm talking to and share a name. But again, the point of this is you fight for your rights. Fight for your rights, and don't let these corporations treat you like less than a human being, because that's what was going on. And at this point, I'm ready to shout racism, because out of all the people there, I was the only African-American woman attempting to check in. Every other non-African-American got a room. Everyone, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I consistently watched everyone get a room key except me. So fast forward, 5:15, the general manager comes down. Now you did hear me say I've been there since 3:30. The general manager comes down. My pastor says the general manager should be coming to see you. So evidently my pastor called at the hotel and tried to mediate this situation, which resulted in the general manager coming down. Problem number one: how can I be here with this type of an issue for this long and the general manager just now show up? Again, front desk manager never came back. No one else even tried to address me. Nothing. When I say I was in a black hole sitting in that lobby, I was in a black hole being completely ignored. Completely outside of the person on the phone who was trying her best to get through. She said, I'm trying to reach the desk manager myself, and I cannot. That was problem number one, that there was no general manager to try to address the issue sooner. Problem number two, he came in as this person, and for those who know corporate America or know organizations, there is at least one or two people there who are your fix-it people. They're the ones going to come bullet in on the problem and resolve it in a matter of seconds because they have that authority. That's what this person approached me with. He did not bother to find out why I was there, which I'm sure he had heard it from the manager at the front desk. He'd heard it from my pastor, and if he probably got a call from Marriott customer service, the lead department. But the same token, you come to a customer, again, Marriott Bonvoy, treat people how they want to be treated. You come to the customer and you say, hi, Miss Willis, I understand there's a situation. Can we talk about it? That's not what I got. Now, at this point, yes, I've taken a seat at the front desk. Matter of fact, on the front desk, on the far end, where you would have a handicapped writing station. No one was down there. And they were like, can you sit over here? No, because at this point I'm being ignored. So I'm not going to be in the far corner of the lobby where I will be completely ignored. So I'm going to stay right here, visual. So the general manager comes down. Hi, Miss Willis, can you please get off the counter? Okay. After, why should I get off? Are you going to help me with my problem? And he's like, I just want to talk to you over here to the side. Okay, are you going to help me with my problem? Why should I? Well, okay. I'm not going to walk to the corner with you either. This has been a very public situation. So we're going to keep it public. I don't trust you to take me in private. I don't right now. So we'll go this far and I will listen to you. Again, he's not asking what's going on. It immediately turns into like this demeaning attack. Not finding out who I am as a person, what has happened to me, nothing like that, or how can I resolve this? And did I say, and I know I did, had anyone offered me somewhere else to go? No, they had not. So now he's saying, hey, we understand that we've offered you the LAX Marriott. I said, sir, that's almost 50 miles away. No, it's not. That's not 50 miles away. This is his tone back to me, and I'm not exaggerating at all. And I said, sir, that is a distance when there are plenty of hotels out here. And I said, not to mention, your front desk manager offered me one night and would not offer me 2 nights. He told me I got to come back. So the only reason he changed his mind was because Marriott corporate gets on the phone. And so he comes back and says, Miss Willis, we'll give you 2 nights. And I says, wow, 2 nights where? LAX Marriott. No, it's still not going to do it. Still not going to do it. So at this point, the general manager is reinforcing this same thing. Look, we can send you to the LAX Marriott. I said, that's not unacceptable. There are all kinds of hotels. And as we keep talking, he's like, well, your pastor called me, and so I'm down here. I said, sir, so you mean to tell me I've been here? I'm the paying customer. I've been here all this time, and it took an outsider to call me and to call you to get you to come down and address my issue. I said, you know what? He probably called because he saw my video. The manager proceeds to say, what video? I said, I went live about this issue because this doesn't make any sense. That manager said, did you get permission to go live? You got to get permission to make a video here. I said, wait a minute. If there's an injustice, I have the right to voice an injustice. However, I say I'm going to voice it. That you cannot dictate that I don't voice an injustice. So I said, well, we'll deal with that another time because right now the video's out there and that's why I'm getting help from people. I help people and people help me. So he says, well, Miss Willis, what is it that you want to do? I said, I just want to go to another, I just want a room. I want my room. He says, well, that's not going to happen. So we can get you somewhere else to stay. I says, you know what, sir? I already have a room. I already booked my room and I'm going to be at the Howard Johnson's. He says, oh, you want to go to the Howard Johnson's? No, I don't want to go to the Howard Johnson's. I want my room here, but I have a room at the Howard Johnson's as a backup. When I tell you this man was not listening to me, he was not listening to me. He goes around the desk, picks up the phone, and proceeds. He says, well, let's go find out how much the Howard Johnson's is going to cost, because I'm only going to pay for one night. I'm not paying for two. You could come back here for the other night. I said, so what I'm hearing is you guys are offering me every solution that is convenient for you. Not convenient to the wronged client, but convenient to you. You are not resolving this issue. You are not providing a solid cure. You're providing a Band-Aid. And to top it off, I had to come up with the solution. You guys didn't even do that. It's me. I had to do this. Well, he proceeds to ignore what I'm saying. I said, well, I've already paid for it. So he says, well, let me find out how much it costs. I paid for it, sir. And I'm showing him my phone, which has the new reservation in there, and it shows the receipt where I've paid for Howard Johnson's. He ignores me, calls the Howard Johnson's, talks. In the meantime, the lady on the phone with Marriott, she's still on the phone with me. Hi, Miss Willis, what's going on? I said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. He's not telling me. He's on the phone. I don't know. So he looks up and he says, I'm trying to get you a room down at the Howard Johnson's. I said, I have a room. Still, he doesn't listen to me. A few moments later, he comes around and he says, okay, Miss Willis, it appears that they have a room down there. And so is that what you want to do? Is that where you want to stay? Sir, again, I prefer my room, but I have to lay my head down tonight. It is late and I didn't think it would take this long to even deal with this. I'm almost 2 hours into this. And I said, sir, here's my question. I've been here for approaching 2 hours. Almost 2 hours, and I have watched every guest walk through this door in the past hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and they all got a room. Everyone. But I've been here and I'm being told there are no rooms. So, sir, help me understand. Do you have rooms or do you not have rooms? His answer to me was, you don't know the scenario and you don't know what was happening. You weren't here 4 hours ago. You don't know what happened. Do I look like I care about what happened 4 hours ago? Because honestly, 4 hours ago was before check-in. Check-in is 3. So why am I supposed to be concerned? And why would that be the answer to me? 4 hours ago was 4 hours ago. I've been here for an hour and a half and everyone has checked in since I got here. So whatever you're referring to is irrelevant to this scenario. So he says, well, you just don't know. You don't know. So do you want to be at the Howard Johnson's? I said, you know what? I have a room there. He says, well, they won't let me do direct billing. So you need to pay for it and give me your receipt. Now, y'all, I've been in corporate America for a long time. Long time. I know every corporate entity has a corporate card on file, a corporate card handy for whatever it is they have to do. So now I'm being told, not only have you found your own room, you go pay for it and you send me the bill. That's what you do. And again, I'm only going to pay one night. I'm not going to pay 2 nights down there. When I tell you I was so angry, I couldn't see straight. The lady on the phone was like, Miss Tracy, please just stay calm, stay calm. At this point, I'm crying because I said, this makes no sense to me because I'm being treated like I'm nobody and not getting answers. And actually, the person who came down with an attitude of not resolution, but conflict. So I'm trying to calm down, ma'am. I am. But this is really hard to stay calm. So after the guy says that, I said, you know what? I paid for my room. His answer to me was, oh, I didn't know you had a room down there. What? I told you that 20, 30 minutes ago. Proof positive. You're not listening to me. I'm nobody. I'm a problem in your hotel. And because you can't even help understand the poor customer service of this, you just are like, oh, she's here. I need to get her out of this hotel. I need to get her out of here. And that's all I'm hearing. So he says, well, in that case, I'm going to give you my card and you send me your invoice. And I said, well, sir, are you sure you want me to have your card? Because this is not over. I am going to make sure that people understand how bad a situation this was, how incredibly demeaning and disrespectful this was. And again, I've been around long enough to know there is no such thing as a 100% booked hotel. No such thing. Every hotel has at least a couple rooms that are left for whatever, whether you're in a room and the problem comes up and they have to move that guest to another room, whether there's a dignitary or some urgent situation that comes up, or whether something, there's always a few rooms left. There's no book to capacity in any instance. And the fact that you guys didn't see fit to help cure this issue by even offering that room, that further adds to the fact that I'm going to still say this is racist. Because, again, every other culture has checked in. Every other culture has gone and they're laying in their beds right now enjoying their coupon that gave them whatever free drink at happy hour or whatever it offered. Everyone is satisfied. But I'm here being told, take care. Send us the bill. So, end result, I do end up leaving, going to the Howard Johnson's. And I did make sure I said that this place is racist on my way out, because I saw no other answer. Mind you, people are still coming in as we're talking, still coming in. So I finally stopped one more time. I said, you know what, sir? I'm going to ask you one more time. How is it that everyone who's come in the past hour and a half to 2 hours has checked into a room? Everyone has gotten a room key. I'm still sitting here being told you don't have a room. At this point, his answer was, I cannot violate the privacy of other guests by giving you an answer. That's the answer he gave me. Okay. He said, well, before you go, Miss Willis, you want a drink? I'm just going to leave because I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally drained from this entire scenario. I go leave. Night goes on. Praise God. Rose Parade was great. I get next day or so, because I see other people started sharing the video, because it's an injustice and no one should go through that. Whoever's watching, you shouldn't go through that. So I share my video, the original video, to Twitter, and I tag Marriott Bonvoy, Marriott International, and I think there's just a regular Marriott out there that can be tagged. I tagged them all. Marriott Bonvoy responds, and they said, hey, we saw your video on Facebook, and we're going to look into this, and please send us your reservation information and send us your contact information. Okay, I send it, thinking, here we go. I'm going to get some kind of a reasonable solution to this. About a day later goes by, and I go back to Twitter, because they wanted to do this on direct message, not on Twitter feeds. I go back to Twitter. Marriott Bonvoy says, we understand that the hotel paid for your room, so we consider this issue resolved. Okay. At this point, they're like, we're done with it. I respond, I say, it's unfortunate that that's your stance. Because basically the issue, yes, has been resolved, but every step of that issue was me. I had to fight for me. I had to fight for the customer who has literally spent thousands and thousands. I'm not talking $100 here and there. I'm talking thousands of dollars with your organization over the past few years. I just left a hotel in October where the bill could have been a vehicle. And now I'm here in Pasadena and being treated like I don't exist. So with that being said, all the viewers here, you're welcome to share this video. You're welcome just to take it as a lessons learned, but you have to speak up. You have to make your voice heard. And I do plan to share this video. I do plan to make sure that I tag news outlets, because in researching this whole scenario, I read a few scenarios where Marriott has done this to other people. I even read a scenario that's on the Marriott Bonvoy website. They actually have a page called Marriott Bonvoy Insider. That's what it's called. And there's a person on there talking about how they booked 30 days at a Marriott. And they were told after so many days they need to switch rooms because somebody else wanted their room. And it went on. There was a few other things in there. And another scenario where a woman was told to pay up front. A black woman was told to pay up front. So with that being said, again, I'm not going to go into a full charge Marriott organization, but I will say that there has to be a better way of doing business, Marriott Bonvoy. Far better way of doing business. Do not have a commercial that says we treat others how they want to be treated when you have people out there who are not being treated the way you want to be treated. They're being treated like they are no one. So the end of this story is, yes, I had a place to lay my head, and I praise God for that. I praise God that I had the means to pay for somewhere else to stay. I do. But think about the person that maybe they didn't have that. Maybe the person flew into town just for the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl, because there are thousands of people who fly in just for that. What if it was them? And they're being told they don't have a room. They're not being given an option. They're just being told you got to go somewhere else. Now, I live here, so I know the proximity. But what if you traveled in and you don't know the proximity? So you accepted that and you traveled all the way across 30, 40, 50 miles when there were no less than 10 hotels, 10 establishments between where you were and where they were trying to send you. That's that kind of thing that's what makes business bad, because people don't matter. So, yes, my issue has been resolved by me. And when all is said and done, I'll never go back to the Westin Pasadena ever, ever, ever. Because I'm looking at my log, and I finally left at 5:30 after arriving there at 3:30 and had no real resolve outside of what I fought for. And again, the lady on the phone, I want to give kudos to her. So Marriott, if you have a call log of the agent that was on the phone with me on Tuesday, December 31st at 4:33 p.m., she's an angel. She actually stayed with me the whole call and kept saying, I'm not going to leave you, Miss Willis. I'm going to stay on this call with you. Because again, I've been working here a long time and I've never heard of this before, ever. I never have. So I'm going to stay with you. And she did at the end of that call. She says, I don't know what that hotel is going to do, but I will give you 10,000 points. So again, my issue was resolved because of my fighting, not because Marriott cared. Okay, so those who wanted the whole story, that's the whole story. Again, I have names, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be pulled into a situation of I'm slanderizing people. I just wanted to do a factual video of what happened that day at the Westin Pasadena, New Year's Eve. Okay, thank you guys for your support, and I do invite you to share the video with others. Tag other organizations, tag news outlets. It needs to be shared in a manner where this must stop. It must stop. Thank you so much. I appreciate your attention. Those of you guys who stayed around. Blessings for an incredible 2020. Bye.